That's me. Yeah, so I play music. That's my background. So I studied jazz. I was into that kind of world. I'll just give you a quick context so I don't freak you out. Started in the music industry, entertainment sector, ran festivals and events, and et cetera, et cetera. Traveled a lot, spent a lot of time overseas. Somehow ended up back in Australia after accidentally buying a beach bar in Cambodia and building a guest house in a Mexican restaurant. And then I ended up in this startup tech space. So I had a sense of innovation and disruption and people, thinking outside the box. And then through that, ended up more in the corporate space. And then now I help people with creativity in their organizations. And largely, I'd say the people that I work with a lot are not necessarily the innovation departments, but how do we flick on, how do we spark that creativity? How do we spark the everyday innovation in everyday employees, people right across the organization, whether they're frontline, whether they're the CFO, whether they're everything in between. And I love it. And I won't go... I really love it. I think it's just an astonishing conversation. It's been accelerated by COVID, which I'm kind of really grateful for. But let's play a little word association game, shall we? So generate. I want to hear from you. Shout out as loud as you can. When you hear the word creativity, first thing that comes to mind. Mykel Dixon. Love that, Fred. What else? Artist. What else? Music, play. What was that one? Fun. What else? Circus. Children, what else? Create. What else? Ideas. What else we got? Magic. Inspiration. Love it. Very, very good. Let's keep this game going. Word association, word, phrase, sentence, whatever comes to mind. First thing, don't think. Describe your relationship with creativity. What was that? Strong. Excellent. What else? Positive. Great. What else? Cooking, fabulous. What else? Freedom, right on. What else? Energizing, what else? Sporadic, fantastic. Love it. We're getting somewhere. What else? Where was that? Liberated, brilliant. I would expect that from a room like this. Third time we'll play this game. Third time we'll play this game. See what I did there? That's what my kids do all the time. No, Dad, 3 times. We did it 3 times. I'm like, what the? Now describe your organization's relationship with creativity. Fraud. Love it. What else? Your boss isn't here, so be brave. What else? Poor. Brilliant. What else? Wanting. What else? Forced. Scared. Skeptical. What else? Misunderstood. Brilliant. What else? Superficial. Excellent. So we've got creativity, fun, freedom, joy, inspiration, magic, dance, artists. Yeah. Your relationship. Now, you're a bit different, obviously, because you're the innovators in the organization. But generally speaking, if I ask this of a bunch of corporates, we get back, oh, long distance, frayed, haven't spoken in a while. Yeah, really should call them back. And describe your organization's dead. Oh, my God, they don't talk. They're in divorce settlement. It's horrible. So there's this wonderful dysfunctional triangle between what we know is creativity. We love it. The value it has, our relationship to it is a bit funky, and then our organizations are still on the way as a journey. And I would say in my experience, even in the last year or so, asking those 3 questions, this has been changed a lot. Hey, we're rebuilding our relationship. Yeah, it's doing a lot of things. Cooking, I'm back into it. And this one's even going, hey, we're trying. We're on our way. We're working on it. We're this. So I think COVID has been wonderful accelerating that. But why does this matter? Well, I think if innovation, I've heard a lot today, is the engine room of growth, of finding and forming new value, then surely creativity is the heartbeat of innovation. Creativity is that spark. It's that joyful life force. It's that energy that gets us up off the couch or off the screen or the Zoom or whatever it is and go, oh, yeah, wonder what that would be like. Maybe we could play with that. How would that feel different? Instead of it being too process-driven or too, we're just incrementally moving the dial. So it's important. I won't bore you with the stats and statistics and case studies and everything around how vital creativity is, particularly for the innovation department in an organization. But I'll share with you one piece of research just for kicks because I think it's pretty powerful. Has anyone heard of a guy called George Land? Has anyone come across him? No? Has anyone else heard of a guy called JFK? You heard of him? So he stood up on a podium just like this, behind a lectern just like this, and just like this, he said, righto, we're going to the moon. And everyone behind JFK went, dude, communicate. You could have told us, you'll figure it out. So they called on a guy called George Land to figure it out at NASA, to find the brightest, boldest, most brilliant minds on the planet to help us get to the moon in the late 60s, early 70s. They've devised the world's first ever divergent creativity test, which we heard a little bit about before, divergent thinking. So effective was this test that it worked. We got to the moon. Fantastic. Woo! We got the astrophysicists, the engineers, the most brightest, brilliant minds on the planet. Did this test, got to NASA, we got there. Woo! George is getting invited to all the parties. He's drinking champagne. He's having the time of his life. Hey, did you see that test that I did? It's pretty rocking. A couple of years goes by. He's not getting invited to as many parties. How do I stay relevant? How do I innovate myself? He's thinking. Wait, I've still got that test. I've still got that creativity test. Why don't I try it on a bunch of 5-year-olds, bunch of 5-year-old kids? Everyday kids, snotty noses, grubby knees. This isn't NASA's school for the gifted. Have a guess. Shout it out as loud as you can. The percentage out of 100, how many of these kids were deemed to be creative geniuses equal to the folks that got us to the moon in the late 60s, early 70s? Shout it out. 80, 100? Kind of know how this game goes, don't you? 98%. Oh, that's interesting. 98% of kids, everyday kids, creative geniuses. Not just like kind of creative geniuses. They would have done that house exercise. It would have been wild. They would have made one and then set it on fire and done all kinds of stuff. He thought, this is interesting. Now they're 10. Let's make it a longitudinal study. Have a guess. They do the same focus group of kids, the same test. Now have a guess at that percentage. 70, 60, 40, close. What do we do at 5, folks? We go to school, don't we? We begin our education, our indoctrination. Now they're 15. They're pashing on the back seat of the bus. They're smoking ciggies behind the gym. Come on, I know you did it. It's uncouth now, but we did it back then, didn't we? Have a guess. Yeah. He thinks there's got to be one more in this. Now they're 30, they're living in the suburbs, they've got kids of their own, they've got a mortgage, they're working in the innovation department of a large corporate organization. 1. -5. 2%. Ouchie, ouchie. George went on to say the research is conclusive. Non-creative behavior is learned. The most watched TED Talk of all time is by a guy called Sir Ken Robinson. The title of that talk is, "Do Schools Kill Creativity?" I'm not here to throw shade at the education system. Teachers have it tough, my goodness, during COVID. Whoa. They're amazing. They're doing the best they can within a system, within this whole architecture, this institution. But hey, it was designed in the 1890s. The world's come a long way. And certainly there's a lot of change starting to happen, but we were all educated. The people in our teams, the people in our organization, our customers, well, we all signed on for that. So we're in this kind of world. And I want to share with you, what I love about this research is, for me, it's less about, we've talked a lot about learning these things, taking these models and tools and applying them are fantastic, but rediscovering our creativity and particularly lighting up the people that do work in the finance team or do work in admin or do work outside of our little bubble of innovation. This is less about them learning something outside of themselves and more about sinking back into who they've always been. This is about remembering, realigning to reawakening that natural born creative, the DNA. Has anyone ever said the words, I haven't got a creative bone in my body? Or I'm not creative, my sister's the creative one. Or no, we don't do creativity now, we leave that for the marketing team. Well, this research kind of proves that you do have a creative bone in your body. Every bone in your body is creative. Every single one of us is a born innovator. We come out ready to... And I want to share with you now a short film. Just kick back. It goes about 5.5 minutes. It's going to make this point more than I can, more than any stats can. Just go with it, lose yourself, enjoy it, and then we'll do a quick little debrief at the end. I'm sorry. Ruining our kids. This is just sorry to throw that on you at the end of the day there. It's a little brutal, isn't it? But beautiful. There's a lot in that for us. There's no words spoken in that film. 6 minutes. I don't know if it hit you here, hits me here. I've seen it 10,000 times. I get teary every time I see it. This is what we're up against when we talk about innovation. It's not just a budget or a boss or a whatever. It's this, the story that we have of ourselves. It's how we've suppressed our self-expression. It's how we've had it kicked out of us. And we don't really know that we're not good enough with this. All the passions, the joy, the magic of our humanity has been suffocated. And that's true of all the people in our teams. And so we want to make sure as we're innovating, and particularly with Fiona's stunning presentation, by the way, that whole AI thing, it gave me a whole new insight on just how important it is that we really do stay close to this, stay close to that humanity, that beauty, the magic of who we are, and reignite that spark within us and try to find our way back again beyond our conditioning. Because yeah, once AI's done all the work, once AI can innovate for us, what do we do then? Oh shit, I don't even know. I don't know what I love anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. What do you want to do? We want to have that conversation simultaneously as we're discovering what AI could do for us or how we're going to innovate our way into this bold, beautiful future. Yeah, but what do we want? And I'll leave you with this. It's a quote from a beautiful guy. We're all exhausted, right? Let's be honest. All the talk of well-being and we're going to have a work-life balance after COVID. It's going to be so amazing. I don't know about you. It hasn't happened for me. I'm straight back to it. And I was Panadol, Nurofen gets me through. But rather than a green smoothie, rather than an early night or a veggies, which are all important to do, it's also it's important for us to do things that spark a light in us. You often feel tired, not because you've done too much, but because you've done too little of what sparks a light in us. And that would be my invitation, is that as we're innovating our way to make our organizations better, to deliver more value for customers, blah, 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 we're not forgetting who we are, what makes us come alive, and having a good time while we're doing it, because I think that's going to shape and inform the decisions that we make, but also the things that we're looking for in our innovation moving forward. Thanks, team. You've been amazing. Round of applause for Fred once again. For Fred, everybody.